my computer is having problems and ranting. I just have to fight through the cruddy equipment. That's all I got to do is just fight through the cruddy equipment. Okay, so. Good morning, happy Monday, and welcome to another edition of Wake and Bake News with me, your host, Kelly Davis, also known as Shampoo VTA, also known as the Blade Dragon. High school name. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to say this morning is Happy Memorial Day. And thank you so much to all of our servicemen for their sacrifices, not being able to go home to their families at night after a battle, not being able to talk to their family, being isolated in a foreign country, not knowing if they're ever going to get, not seeing their kids grow up. No, thank you. That is a gigantic, really. So, happy Memorial Day. Thank you very much. Memorial Day was originally called Decoration Day. Back east, they decorate the graves. It's a tradition. Where I'm from, Muncie, Indiana, you would go out with your family. Sorry, my husband's playing a game. You would go out with your family and decorate the tombstones. And they have like roadside stands where you can buy plastic. And this was done after the war to try to bring the states together. Our the South and the North basically had a big blowout. So the way to kind of heal those wounds was to honor all the soldiers. Now, Decoration Day became Memorial Day. As the wars went on, the Great War, and so it became Memorial. Okay, so this morning I am smoking what's left of my Blue Dream. As you can see, it used to be a large nug. My son was over last night and we were enjoying Freddie Pritchard's live broadcast, and that's what's left of that. So let's spark this ball. Remember, best part of waking up, someone else even did a better version of this, I won't steal it, is marijuana in your bowl. Somebody said, is getting fucking high. Or getting fucking baked or something. It was great. Oh. My son out for a nice hike yesterday. Fast walk. Having so many problems with all of my equipment. I tried to do video. My videos are not working out. My tablet camera is not working out. Miniature SD card is fried, I guess, or something. Seem to be having massive, weird technical difficulties with my equipment, but you know, it's a shop opportunity. So this just means that now I get to looking for a new computer. I will begin the pressure on my face. Ellie needs this. It will happen. Okay, so let's begin with the news. Get off of my, as you can see, my garden cam here in lovely, foggy Ventura, California. The garden cam. Okay. So our first story today is about the floods that happened this weekend in Texas that were just horrible. I couldn't believe some of the pictures. Blanco River's massive surge leaves Wimberley. Is that right? Wimberley residents in shock. Matthew Autumn of the Austin American Statesman describes the scene as the river rose Saturday and as residents viewed the damage Sunday. Could you imagine overnight rising like dark? You gotta find your way out of this muddy tree. Wow. The thing about historic days is that they often feel just like normal ones until they don't. We finished charring marshmallows. We finished charring marshmallows by the outdoor fireplace at our cousin's rental property on the river, on River Road, as the rain ramped up again. Showers had blanketed Wimberley in in thick sheets, off and on for hours. A flash flood was imminent. My brother-in-law heard secondhand that a fire department employee expected the flood to be the worst he'd seen in 62 years. County officials blocked River Road. It was time to head home to safety. As my mom and I prepared to drive the Sir Brutus 2 miles, oh boy, this I don't like it when I'm thinking it. Two miles to my parents' house on River Road, a cousin asked my dad what we'd do if the river made its way to our house. Call Noah, he deadpanned. My parents' house sits on a bluff approximately 35 feet high and more than 100 yards from the Blanco River. The floods of 1998 and 2002 had delivered water over the first couple of steps up from the bluff. Those were historic floods. There was no way the river could ever reach the house. Or so we thought. My sister and her husband's tiny voice woke me up before midnight. Really? At first they sounded awestruck. The tone shifted to nervousness as someone roused me from bed. The city had called, imploring us to evacuate. The power was out. Everything was pitch black. As I stepped into the back patio to try and comprehend what was happening. Snap, crack, pop, the raging Blanco River bent mighty cypress and oak trees to its will. Rivers in our backyard, my mom said. As I tried to discern the silhouette of a tree hurtling down the river, kicking flashlights into the abyss, I made out the edge of the Blanco River, maybe 15 feet away, and inching towards us. This is like fucking. I watched another tree fly by. My mom said had seen a car going down the river, lights on, hissing, propane tanks, bobbing along at rapid speed. Bobbing, I'm thinking. Bobbed, interesting. The river reached the patio steps. We scrambled to gather my excited and alarmed young nephew and a few essentials. My mom grabbed family valuables. I found my glasses. We got our dogs. Voice turned frantic. This is why everyone should seriously consider just have a bag with extra meds and your glasses and things you need if you can't get to the originals that you love so much. Just I have one. I've got two. Earthquake country. Just grab it and get the hell out, and that'll have extra meds, extra glasses. Always have it somewhere near the door too. I stepped into the front yard to throw things into the car and saw blinking flashlights coming from the neighbor's house. Then I heard pleas for help that I will never forget. My awe morphed to terror. I called 911. We loaded up and drove next door to see if there was any hope of helping our friends. In our headlights glow, we could make out the river reaching the end of the neighbor's 100-yard drive. We stayed on the phone with 911 as we took a back road to the Brookshire Brothers near downtown Wimberley. Waited there for about half an hour, searching social media and trying to decide on a game plan. Other cars surrounded us, their passengers presumably doing the same dazed car crawl on the. This is what automated cars can help us with, because automated cars would be attached to the satellites, and satellites would know where the storm is, and they could communicate with each other and then get humans the hell out of there, instead of humans going, where do I take the car? Because their perspective is on the ground, and the car's perspective could be the cloud. Okay, the automated cars could save people's lives. Wanting to check on the house, we headed back the way we came, but the route of last resort had flooded seconds before. We headed back to Austin for a few hours rest. US 290 was almost empty. It was surreal how a handful of miles could separate surreal danger from serenity. We returned Saturday morning with our hearts in our throats. We determined the water line had reached the edge of the back door, with only a little water spilling inside. Millimeters separated us from severe damage. We were the lucky ones. While we experienced a fright, many of our friends and neighbors suffered terrifying mornings and horrific. What a great story! What's that sad? Wow, that's. I have seen people in Oklahoma have to hike out of their homes, bloodied, with backpacks that they just threw together because a tornado hit. Bug out bag, a go bag should be an essential kit that every person has if they live in any kind of a danger, earthquake, flood, whatever. Bug out bag. Just to have some clothes, some meds, your glasses, things, an inhaler if that's what you need. For us stoners, could you imagine you lose all your weed? You got no weed, no pipe, no dabs, nothing. Bug out bag is a serious consideration. Oh, that was emotional. I hope everybody. I mean, they're not going to be for a while, but I hope they get it. I couldn't say your town's name correctly. Really frustrating when I get stuck on words. Surprising yes vote from DiFi on medical marijuana use. Taking. Eve Diane's R. Mount and Jeff Merkley Dior, a military spending bill that would prohibit the Department of Veterans Affairs from using federal monies to prosecute doctors who recommend medical marijuana to veterans in states where the drug is legal. A like-minded House amendment failed less than a month ago in the 2013-2010 vote. But in the Senate amendment, but if the Senate amendment passes, it could it could survive and a joint conference committee. Tom Engel of Marijuana Majority observed elected officials are finally starting to wake up to the fact that endorsing marijuana is good politics instead of the dangerous third rail they've long viewed it as. As a matter of fact, now denying it is going to become, in my opinion. And that means a lot more victories are on the way soon. The measure would bar the Department of Justice using federal dollars to prosecute medical marijuana dispensaries in states where they are legal and reclassify marijuana from a Schedule 1 to a Schedule 2 drug, which is not a perfect solution, but the best one we can acquire right at this moment. To a Schedule 2 drug to allow for more medical research of cannabis. I strongly believe more research into the potential medical benefits of marijuana, specifically cannabinol. The non-psychoactive components is needed. Okay, yes, but you're gonna find out you need THC too. That it's a balance. They're trying so hard to sell this as you don't have to get high from marijuana. But the truth is that you need to have a balance. It can't just be all THC. Can't just be. But some of these pharmaceutical companies are finding out you can't just stuff a pill full of all one thing and get the same results as what the plant can. Plant is a factory, produces things so much better than we're human. I swear we're so full of. We're so massive. This is really exciting news. Dianne Feinstein has finally turned on this subject, or is turning as best she can. I don't expect Governor Brown to actually turn, but he's on his way out. Good. So California is beginning to align for the vote in 2016, and you see it, especially in her. To get her to do this, even a little bit, is a big victory. It's a really big victory. Got to give them a way into this. Can't just bang them over the head with they were wrong. That's not the way to get them. Got to give a person alter their view. There's like pride and professional pride and professionalism and all this crap attached to it. Yeah, when face. It's so important to humans that they will fight logic. On to the next story. South Dakota marijuana advocates approve banning alcohol and tobacco. Propose banning alcohol and tobacco. Interesting tactic I've heard before. Calling on the hypocrisy, pointing it out. A marijuana legalization activist from South Dakota has filed papers for 2 ballot initiatives to ban alcohol and tobacco to make state policies consistent with marijuana penalties. Bob Newland of the group Consistent South Dakota filed the 2 initiatives with the Secretary of State's office earlier this year. And last week, Attorney General Mary Jackley's office released explanations of the measures as required by law. First proposed measure, which would be before the voters in November 2016 in Newland, is successful in collecting enough signatures to place on the ballot, would make the transfer of tobacco and tobacco paraphernalia from one person or business to another. The second would ban the sale of any alcohol beverages containing 1% or more of ethyl alcohol. Penalties for breaking either law would be similar to those of the that are currently applied to marijuana. This is simply a brilliant idea. Because there's no way that these ballot measures could ever really make it. There's just no way. Even if they did, I mean, alcohol companies would come out of the woods with advertising to get after it. Boy, then you'd see. Woo! But I've always said, then you'd see the minute alcohol becomes. That's an interesting story. I can't wait to see how that turns. A little more wake and bake. Oh, so nice. In the morning. Took a little self control last night not to smoke it all. It was the live show was so fun with Freddie Pritchard. If you can get a chance to get on some of these live shows on YouTube, Stony Sundays, Jane Dro, The Weed King, Freddie Pritchard, or Hash Church with a Bubble Man, these are really fun shows and interesting. Really interesting, especially Hash Church. Is some really intelligent young man on that show. Well spoken, intelligent, and obviously, no, these are not just hippies, like outside would think. Very intelligent, interesting to listen. Oh, last story? Yes, it was. Well, it's Monday. You know how it is. News agencies are so lazy. It takes them at least 3 days to get geared up after the week. It's like Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then maybe Tuesday they'll start actually reporting. Unless they have some bullshit they want to tell us, then you'll have to just that story for the next 2 weeks. Ugh. This is why I do this. The news is dumb. Like advertising, endless advertising. This is Freddie's show from last night. I wanted to recommend this to you. What our show, what I know what I don't want to take away from his viewership. But he just reached 2,000 subs. He's got 390 views on this, 68 likes. Please swing by, and one cop that came by. One dislike. So, if you get a chance, check out Freddie's latest upcast. Upload. He's really proud of the fact he reached 2,000. I'm really proud of him too. I just started following him not too long ago, and it's just really exciting being part of a small group of stoners together on you. And I wanted to also make a suggestion that somebody out there, wouldn't it be great if all of us could receive a package for these shows that contained items that he would be smoking, using, talking about? You could open them together, like that Loot Crate stuff, and ooh, look at this is what you get. Ooh, look at this is the buds we're trying. Everyone, take them out and smell them. Take a look at your bud. Does it look the same as mine? Yeah, like the kind of a culinary thing. You could get people together and pay a subscription to participate in these kinds of online events, and then receive material objects in a box, tangible objects that would make them feel more part of this. Like they were actually in this person's house enjoying this experience. Just an idea I had. That's what I think would. So if you get a chance, check out his show. It's really nice. Back to good old Bill in a dress. Didn't he look so good that way? I think that's really funny. Sure. I think that's. Oh, and this is my little. So anyway, thanks for joining me for Monday's episode, and because I don't know till after I get done and change the format because in the flash format, can't just do it right. The whole thing. I'll get better at it. I'm working on it. Try to get out more and hike. Try to give you more videos doing that stuff. I don't know whether to look at the camera or the little box down there. We'll figure it all out. Mm. Before I go, I will share with you my etching I did. Found a nice little bottle at the thrift store. I think I'm gonna make into a bean right there. I did an etching beforehand. Hopefully, if I get it done, I'll show. Except maybe I'm worried there's burn your face. I had a friend of mine, a fire go up this time when I was lighting up for him. Oh, I felt so bad because it was set on high. I just watched the flame go right in his nose. I was like, oh my god. Oh, it was so funny. Not for him, but a singe burn. It singed his nose hairs. I was just like this, and the flame was too high, and it just went right in his face. I'm like, oh my god, I'm sorry. Oh, oh, good time. I miss him. Oh, I wish he could have seen. He would have been here getting out. Okay, so see you later and happy Memorial Day. Enjoy yourself. Take it easy. Goes. Say hi and goodbye.